salad, we have some nice basil leaves, opal basil, regular basil leaves. Got four to five peaches. I got a couple different sizes on the peaches now. Make sure they're not overly ripe, but when you squeeze them, you get a little bit of softness. But you don't want to be totally underripe, but you don't want to be totally mushy either on your peaches. You can do nectarines too as well. And I got walnuts. I'm going to chop some up. I got cider vinegar and some honey, and also some olive oil. Extra virgin or the lighter olive oil is going to be fine. Peaches, after you wash them, you want to go around till you get to the pit. And if they're ripe enough, you'll be able to twist them. If they're not ripe enough, see, that one's not ripe enough, that's okay. What you're going to do is you're going to cut wedges. So I'm going to cut a wedge, and I'm going to cut a wedge, right? Take that out. Go this way, and you're going to cut like a wedge where you're cutting it out. Okay, and then you cut again right by the pit, and you cut again. I'm just showing you two different ways if your peach is not ripe, totally ripe enough, or just a little under to take the pit out. So there's like our wedges that we get out. You're going to cut those into slices and wedges so that they're going to be like 2-bite pieces, right? Sliced, nice, not too thick. We're leaving the skin on. Just like that on our peaches. So we got our wedges. You might get one. This is a smaller one here, okay? When you get a smaller one, white or regular peach, you can take the pit out just like that. So also, when peaches get a little bit riper, you want to make sure if you take the pit out that you get the part of the pit out. So you don't want to leave that in there. So you get just your wedges of your peach just like that, okay? But you don't want that stuff in there. That comes out. Once again, here we go here. Sometimes it'll pull right out. Our pit pulls right out there. Pit's a little different than it is for plums. It's got a little bit of ridges on it for peaches. You can also use the end part of a peach right there and put that in there. So those are all our nice wedges of peach. So next we have our basil. When we washed our basil, we put it in water in the bowl and we shook it out. So you get all the, don't just run it under a faucet. You gotta submerge it into a bowl with water and then shake it out to get your basil leaves. Gets all into that extra soil or anything off. You don't want gritty basil, that's for sure, when you're making this. So those are all like our pieces of basil. Literally like 10 to 20 leaves at least. And these are pretty big size. It's that time of year. It's basil season. So what we're going to do is we are going to cut like a chiffonade. So you're going to take 4 or 5 at a time, right? And then you're going to roll them slightly, all right? Then we're going to go kind of big as far as chiffonade goes. So we're going like a 1/4 of an inch, just like that, to get our chiffonade cuts, just like that there. And that's going to go into your salad. Bunch them up like that. Once again, roll, and we're good, just like that. Okay? So there's your chiffonade on your basil. So we're going to toast our walnuts a little bit. We're going to put like 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the pan. You're going to turn on your heat on medium heat. We don't need it to be super hot. We're going to put in our walnuts. We're going to toss this around for a couple minutes till we get a little bit of color on our walnuts. Alright, so we got a little color on our walnuts, and we're going to turn it off. You don't want to burn them, because carryover cooking, as soon as you see some smoking, that's it, turn it off. You don't want to get them too brown, and we're going to let them cool down, and then we're going to do a rough chop. There's my walnuts out. They almost got away from me. So I just put them on the cutting board for a minute and let them cool down for a second. And we're going to do a rough chop. So we rough chop it, just hand on top, just go back and forth. You don't need to go crazy. Just break them up a little bit. We don't want them to be really fine. We're just going to be a little bit smaller than what they were, and we are good to go. Let them cool down, all right? That's it. All right, we're scooping those lovely walnuts right into the bowl with our peaches and our basil, okay? There we go. So there's our walnuts in there all set. So we're going to toss this a little bit. Use our spoon, toss it around. That's our walnuts, our peaches, our basil, just like that. Nice and easy. You don't want to mash it, you just want to fold it over. All right, let's get ready to make our dressing. All right, so we have in our bowl, we're going to make our dressing. We get our vinegar first. We got our vinegar in there. 1, 2 tablespoons of the vinegar, right? And we're going to go with our honey. We have a tablespoon of honey. Gotta have that. There's our nice tablespoon of honey right in there. And then we're going to get ready to add our oil. We got about 4 tablespoons of olive oil. All right, we're whisking around in our bowl our honey and our vinegar, right? Then you're going to slowly whisk in your oil. There's our slowly whisking our olive oil. Right where we're whisking, olive oil goes in. Don't dump it all in, just whisk a little at a time. Just like that. There we go. There's our dressing. Next, you're to put in your dressing. Now, if you make the dressing and you feel that it's too dry, then make another batch, another round of dressing to make sure it's all wet. You don't want it too wet. You want a little wet because you're going to have moisture coming out of your peaches eventually. You just want enough to coat the basil and the vinegar. I mean basil and the walnuts and the peaches. But if it seems a little dry, then of course you can make another round of dressing. You are going to season this with some fresh cracked pepper or regular black pepper and some salt. There we go. I'm using sea salt or kosher salt. Just dip that in there and then toss that around. This is basically like a side salad or like a midday snack as well. You got protein from your nuts, and it's just summertime. Keep this chilled in the fridge. It'll last about 2 days, and then your peaches start breaking down, but definitely worth it. Tastes really good. I love the crunch. It's only a certain time of the year that you can get really fresh peaches that are local, depending on where you live. And it's summertime, so you have the cooling effect of the basil as well, so it really makes it worth it.